There we go. Hello, man. Hello, Mgtows. There we go. I'm rattling around in here and everything. I know it gets probably starting these. I wish there was a smoother way to start these things up. If you get everything in order, you think about everything. Hello, RP. Uh, Give me a topic. Somebody give me a topic. I don't have a topic. I really just stopped by today because it's Memorial Day in the United States, and we everybody had the day off. We went out to a restaurant and tried to find a restaurant, but there was no restaurants open because it was Memorial Day and everybody has a national holiday. And well, we finally found one. It was a national chain that disrespects workers' rights, but but it was okay. They were limited in their staff, and we found a Longhorn Steakhouse that was open, and we had a enjoyable. I had one of those burgers with the steak things on top of them, and it was delicious. And I was going to barbecue this morning, but it all gets so cumbersome. It gets so cumbersome. So Memorial Day, it's a sad day in America. I think everybody in America knows somebody that didn't come home from war. We've been at war for 100 years, 200 years in America. It's a never-ending process of war. I think about what Benjamin Franklin said to the French. We do these things in our country. We have this war, so our sons and daughters can be farmers, and their sons and daughters can be artists. And that seems never to have happened. In the United States, there's never been a time period between two generations where we didn't have a all-out war. But yeah, I remember the first time I was impacted by war when a young man up the street. He was during the Vietnam era, and he didn't come home. And I was wondering, I was just a young boy, and I was wondering where did he go, you know? And then finally, somewhere down through my aging, I realized where they went. So. Hey, men, go your own way. And for the veterans and people that didn't come home, may all the girls in heaven be virgins and not thoughts. So go your own way, and go your own way in heaven too. I hope they're all. I hope they're all happier on this planet. I really don't have a topic, so if you guys got it's been a live stream weekend. Yeah, I figured there was going to be a live stream weekend. I was watching, just watching and fooling around because I don't really care because, it was Coach Eli was doing, and JB Gunner was doing his regular drama with Coach Eli, and they've been going back and forth for 2 years now. So it gets old, the regular drama. They have nothing original, but they call each other names, and I like to end that, but hey, that's their thing and everything. And hello, 30 feet under. This is a wrong cross there. One branch is missing. No, there's a right. This is the Mgtow. It's like, go your own way, because you can only go one other way. Go your own way. I suppose I should put on the Mgtow pussy hat and do that. And but I really don't have a topic today. I just wanted to stop by and say hello to everybody, and I hope everybody's having a great day. It's Monday for some of you, and some of you it's Tuesday. Our Australian buddies, it's Tuesday, I suppose. Let me see. Is it Tuesday morning yet? Yeah, I think it's 8 o'clock Tuesday morning in Australia, and it was a nice day. It was warm and sunny, and I got out. I did 2 bike rides today. 2 bike rides. You could probably see I lost about 140 pounds. Yeah, sure. I wish. No, but we did go out and enjoy the holiday stuff. But it is a sad day, and I don't like to think about it on these days. Everybody's out and everything. But like always, the kids are out in the neighborhood playing, and I had a video on my camera, for my bike camera. And as soon as I drove up to the store and this morning to get some smokes, and I can't remember what I was doing. I just had something to do, get some smokes and do something. And so I got on my bike. I was like, oh, what a beautiful day. And I got on my bike, and I drove up there and I locked it up, and I didn't turn the camera off. And as soon as I got up there, this young boy come walking out of the he come walking out of the convenient, and then he starts walking towards me, and then he turns around real quick, and then I noticed what he was turning around for. There's this young girl that walked out, and she was getting in a car, and he was like hooting and hollering and doing the simp thing. He was catcalling and, "Hey baby, you're so beautiful." And I just went like, first I was gonna cover my face and just I started laughing, and then I started grinning like a Cheshire cat, knowing that, boy, if you that would just hurt you. That would just hurt you, young boy. And yeah, she was like, "Oh, thank you," and he was like, "You're so beautiful." And I was thinking, "Oh man, is this the worst thing? Do you guys have them? Do you guys have those things? Do you ever watch that? Does that happen in your neighborhood too?" Hell, yeah. Hello, Terrain. Does that happen in your neighborhood where the boys are in front of the convenience store, or the convenient one, or whatever store you got, the Lawson store, and they're just hanging out drinking some pops, and a girl comes out and they start simping hard. They start doing the cat calling and everything. We used to have we'll just kind of go with the natural flow here of things. I don't really have a topic. If you guys want to talk about something, we'll talk about it, but we'll just go up with that. The cat calling is so immature, and it's so not Mgtow. It's one of the things that the MRA was complaining about, and the cat calling. Oh, you're going to go to jail for cat calling. And I think you should go to jail for cat calling. I think you should have to go to some kind of course. You go to in front of a judge, and he says, "You're so stupid and immature. You would just start catcalling and saying like rude things to another person. You should go. You need a course." And how to act right. But our boys are. I remember when I was a boy too, 17, 18 years old. Man, I couldn't control myself. A pretty girl would walk by. She had that dress on. They used to wear a lot of sundresses. I don't see too many sundresses on anymore. And they had those sunglasses. And back when I was growing up, they didn't like to wear the bras either. Now they like to wear the push-up ones to make themselves look bigger. All the neoteny goes on with that. They like to wear the push-up bras. The thought bras. And but yeah, they were looking all good, and you couldn't control yourself. And wow, look at that. And then you always try not to get caught doing it. And but it's quite simpish when they do it. Hmm. Yeah, I noticed that lately. Pretentious Herman women, especially the bigger ones and the more masculine ones, the dykish ones. Yeah, the I won't call them dykes. I shouldn't do that because that's being casually cruel. And the LBGT girl on girl ones. Is that better? Is that better? The LBGT girl on girl ones. They start whistling at each other, and they'll start acting like dudes, and they'll start doing the cat calling and everything. I guess they got a little too much testosterone in those britches. Camel toe yoga pants. I seen one today. I did. I was out, and we were searching desperately for a restaurant or someone that was open. Around here it's quite rural, and we have the total sum of 2 restaurants and a sandwich shop. And you don't want to go to those restaurants all the time, so we had to drive into Cleveland. We drove all the way into Cleveland, and we got to our favorite restaurant that we go to, and it was closed. It was like, so we went to the next one, and it was closed, and the next one was closed, and the next one was closed. And finally we randomly drove around for about an hour before we found a restaurant that was open. Yoga pants. Look at my yeah, that's a sideshow. Yoga pants are yogurt pants. My buddy calls them yogurt pants, so he tries to be a little less rude about that. But he's like, "Oh, look at that." They just cling to it, and some of them look pretty good. We drove through the park today too, and all the people were out, and there was the girls in the yogurt pants jogging and just bending and pointing that at people and pointing that arsenal at people. That's what I say. Hey, don't point that at me. That thing goes off. Could hurt somebody. Yeah, how many men has that killed already? Yeah, the V has killed a lot of men already. It's like, don't point that at people. Oh, thinking of going shock jock. are you are you thinking of going shock jock Mgtow thread, or is TGI Friday is Beyond Burgers? Oh yeah, we were gonna go into a Ruby Tuesdays. We found out some of the it was either Ruby Tuesdays. We were gonna go into our favorite where we can get an ultimate burger, and that's like the ultimate burger is a burger. It's usually people use the I can't remember what the Bubba burgers, and then it's a Bubba burger, and then it's got chicken, shredded chicken, and then shredded pork, and then all stacked up about that high, and then it's all barbecue sauce dribbling down with some onion rings on the top of that. So I found a sort of it was some kind of burger. It had roast beef on top of the burger. That's what I ate today, and then I threw out my carb diet for one day. I told everybody I haven't ate carbs all week because I want to see what it'll do if I don't eat carbs. And carbs is the mainstay of my diet. But so I threw that out for a holiday. You think that's okay if you throw out your carbs on your diet on a holiday just once on a holiday? And watching some Stardust vids today, really good. Yeah, Stardust has been really good lately, and we all can appreciate Stardust. He's been really good for the community over the years, and his videos are quite entertaining sometimes, and he always has some point to make, and some point that's a little more than just thoughts, and and we don't like them women, they're acting silly, all that gets so old. But I was watching Eli and JB go at it. That's like comical heaven. That is like comedy heaven. And then oh man, it's so funny. And yeah, I just wish they would just figure out how to do YouTube away from Mgtow. I seen I seen Riff over there. He was laughing at the cuck. Um, I don't keep a woman, but I still you still do that. Yeah, be careful. Them things go off and they can hurt people. Oh man, I love pasta. Yeah, me too, Kyle. I love pasta. I make my own pasta, and it's so easy to make once you start. I got one of those pasta rollers, and when you start rolling your pasta, it's stainless steel. I never ever put water on those things. So I make my own pasta. It's like an egg and a cup of water and a little bit of oil and whatever you want to make it in, and then you make your own pasta. And it's one serving, and I'm a one serving guy. So you just run it through that thing, and out comes fresh pasta. You grab it, throw it in some boiling water, and it's bam, and you got a meal. So cutting out your carbs is really hard for me. That's the mainstay of my diet. Cooties gives you cooties gives you yeah, estrogen, or what do they call that? Oh god, when Bob at and Fight Club, Bob had big huge that's my favorite moment when Bob puts Tyler's head up against his chest, and he's like, and he starts talking in the background on that, and he's like, I never believe, can't remember what he said, but it was something about this shouldn't be happening. That's my favorite moment. And then Bob dies. I just realized who Bob was the other day in that was Meatloaf. I never realized Bob was Meatloaf, and Meatloaf was still really heavy at that time. Now Meatloaf is in a new one that takes place up a new series. His name was Robert Paulson. Yeah. Uh, Meatloaf is in a new series that takes place in some wacky town up north and everything. And he's really skinny now. Meatloaf has lost about 200 pounds, and he's a pretty good looking guy now, and he's getting up there in age. And yeah, Meatloaf. I never knew that. I looked at him, And I just never put two and two together on that, who Robert Paulson was. Uh, I can imagine. I don't know if them were his real boobies. Xiaomi would pay for those. I mean, Xiaomi would pay for what he had. Them were some big ones. Xiaomi only got little ones, but his name was Robert Paulson. Yeah. I love Fight Club. I watch it once in a while just to watch it because it is a really interesting thriller. It's a psychological thriller, and you got to get to the end. And there's always something new you see in the movie. So once in a while, you just he's veggie loaf now. Yeah, he went vegan. I think veggie loaf, total veganized meatloaf, and that's I don't know if it was soy loaf. I don't think it was soy loaf. Maybe he learned his lesson with the girls there because he was sipping at one time bad. So, so that was my day today. I just kind of casually. Holidays are wonderful because I got coffee on my storage area. No, I don't. Okay, yeah, holidays are wonderful because you go outside and all the kids are playing and everybody's out. And people you don't normally see are out, and so the grass is cut today and it's looking good. I went to look for I went to look for fertilizer and I used all my fertilizer and I don't have no fertilizer, so I have to order a new fertilizer. And maybe me and my buddy will run up sometime this week and I'll get some fertilizer for my lawn before the weeds get out of control. And yeah, happy Memorial Day, everybody! If you're enjoying it, if you're not in this country, it's a happy Memorial Day to you too, because we can all take time to just remember our fallen friends and fathers, and mostly men that have died. And that's an interesting topic in itself. We often hear around here that men do the heavy lifting in on this world, and today's one of the few days. Father's Day's coming up too. Hey, Father's Day's coming up. Ooh, I know you guys are just. Whew. I seen that. I realized that because at the restaurant they had you get these set of 4 Father's Day knives for our Dad's Day or something. Susan autocorrect. Susan autocorrect is going crazy. Who's Susan autocorrect? Almeida Chewbacca. Hey, Shingles. Is Shingles in? Shingles is still in. All my dates, all my dads are dead. Yeah, my dad died a little while ago. He was a Korean War vet, and our children we never knew that as we were growing up. But we found that out after the Army brought a flag for his funeral, and I was like, wow, Dad was in Korea, and we didn't know that one. And my father never talked about it. He was a stoic man that was he was married to a hippie girl. Don't ask me how that worked out in their mind. It's been it's been replacing LOL the love lately. Probably, blah, 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 blah. What did I ask? What was the question? Susan autocorrect is going crazy. Oh, that's what Susan autocorrect is? The love lately? I don't know what that is. You guys it's hard to keep up with the whole lingo on the YouTube and the internet with the kids. I just, I don't have it. I don't have it anymore. I just can't do it. I can't try to keep up with the Mgtow lingo. I'll keep up with the pertinent stuff. Wow, that's something, Trav. Korean War vet. Yeah, he was a Korean War vet, and he was a good man. My father was. So we remember things, and it's great to remember things about your dad. In my age, our dads weren't. There was no portraying fathers as schlumps and assholes and weirdos and everything. They were rather stoic men, and they were. So we, I wish the kids nowadays had that chance before they destroyed your father. You get a father now. He if he's American, he probably did fight in a war, but. He, he comes home and then they destroy him, and all you get to know is the destroyed man that America destroyed, and that used to not be it, and there was some honor in that, and now there's really no honor in it, and what honor you've perceived or taken from that, they'll destroy that too. Yeah, some wipes are flushable, some you should put in a trash receptacle. I don't know what that means, but old music is good. Keep on. Yeah, Alice in Chains is releasing new stuff. Yeah, who released it? I was like, I think was it Alice Cooper that released this, an album just the other day, or just somebody released an album just the other day, and I was like, wow, that guy's way too old to release an album. But there was a few releases this week. This is America. Don't put. Yeah. These guys are, you guys are funny today, and so I was watching the Cuck and JB go back and forth. That's about the funniest thing in the whole world. JB, a non-Mgtow and a non-Mgtow, or a total whatever you would call the Cuck, Eli, trying to just drama up the place. Boston is doing you know who I want to go see. You know who is at it was at the Indiana casino there on the Three River area on the Indiana side. Oh, you got Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, and Boss Skaggs was there. And I think Boss Skaggs is over the weekend or something. I said, "Oh man, we just got to ride down there and go see Boss Skaggs before he dies." And I think he's going to be in Akron. So on the 24th of next month, I think Boss Skaggs is going to be in Akron, and you guys all know the Lowdown song, the dirty, dirty Lowdown, girls. He was talking about girls there and everything. So it's cool. You can go see that thing. I was laughing the other day because was it Sly the Family Stone was somewhere, and I was like, wow, are these cats still alive? And Boss Skaggs is cool. I love Boss Skaggs, and it's kind of my era. That was my era when Boss Skaggs was around. And the Dirty Low Down, just if not familiar with Boss Skaggs, it's Mgtow music. So just go type it in, lowdown, and Boss Skaggs. And if you're not familiar with it and you're a young man, go listen. I think you'll like it. Sly and the Family Stone. I said, man, I'm gonna go watch Sly and the Family Stone. And there was one other one that I I can't remember the name of the group. They were around, and they were an old disco band. And I love watching disco bands. That's what we do on the weekend. Sometimes we go and there's a disco outfit around here, and I don't know if you guys got them in your respective town. It's called Disco Mania, and I think it's national Disco Mania, where they get all artists together, and they get a lot of artists, and they play disco music the best they can, and they'll all dress up with the wigs in the 50s 70s clothes probably, and they'll dress up. So wherever they're at, we go try to see the disco impersonation bands because it's just fun and it's funny, and they're not serious, and it's just a good time. When you go watch a disco band, and that's probably would have been nice. A lot of when I lived down towards Kent there in Ohio, in a town called Twinsburg, there was a festival. They got one of those big clamshell things where they have people under the big clamshell, and it looks like really weird and everything. They used to have a festival, and Disco Inferno was the band that they would come, and they were just so fun to see. It was just they'd sell beers in the back, and they'd take credit cards and stuff, and everybody was disco dancing, and it was kind of weird to see Earth, Wind, and Fire September. Dude, yeah, that's the one I was thinking. Earth, Wind, and Fire was somewhere the last 2 weekends ago, and I was like, oh, I got to go see Earth, Wind, and Fire September. That's the one I was thinking about. Thanks for that, Shingles. Earth, Wind, and Fire September. Tool is God. Tool. I'd like to go see Tool. Tool is like great. what do they say? So, what's the lead guy's name? He does the thing when he's like, yeah, he's kind of like Ozzy Osbourne. He's kind of retarded in real life, but yeah, he's fun. But he says there he's a tool. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? Everyone is kung fu fight. Yeah, kung fu fighting. That's a great song. Everybody is kung fu fighting, and oh, I can't remember. Was that a movie came out around then? Everybody was kung fu fighting, and oh, you know what? Kung Fu was out then too. The David Carradine. Now he died doing that funny thing, hanging himself, and when what do you call that when they hang themselves or they choke themselves? They like choking. Now they said that came out after David Carradine died, and he was kind of a freaky dude. Maynard, yeah, Maynard is a tool. Thanks for Maynard's a freaking genius. You ever listen to some of those lyrics? I mean, they go deep in Maynard. That's a lot of Mgtow stuff in there too. Maynard's a Jesus. Everybody's cuck. Jetty. Everybody was. That would be the song for the Cuck Show. Everybody was cuck fu fighting. That would be weird. So the Coach Eli show, the cuck, everybody was cuck fu fighting. That's what they were doing today, and I just couldn't take it no more. So I decided to come on because there's been so much drama in Mgtow, and we just got to lighten up sometimes and say, hey guys, we got a project. It's called Project Mgtow. Did you guys forget about that? And I know they want to. I had an answer for a question that Stewart, the misfit, was asking the other day, and I wanted to get with him, but I couldn't find him on the Mgtow Hangout. His name wouldn't come up, and I was wondering what happened to Stewart. So if anybody sees Stu, tell him I'm looking for him. He's probably listening. He always listens in on me. So we got home after we went out I got the Longhorn steak. I got a burger at Long. Dougie got half of it because I ate the fries and half the burger, and it was too much for me. And Dougie, I got home and Dougie, I brought, it was a big burger. So I gave him half and he was smiling. Dougie was smiling. And when your blind deaf dog smiles and then you just realize, wow, that's so cool. Hey, heart donor, thanks for the donation, heart donor. That's great. I'll put that in my donation fund for the Zen 7, Zen 3 that I want. I'm going to buy either a thread ripper or a Zen 3. I don't know which one, the Zen 3 7 or the Zen the Sultans of Swing. Nice guitar music there too. The Sultans of Swing. That was during my time. That was what was the name of that group? The Sultans of Swing. God, I'm so behind times with music nowadays. Concerts have been a vice for you. Yeah, I love going to concerts. We do. We try to find the weirdest concert that you can find, like Disco Inferno. That's just going to a weird musical event, because so a few years ago, the last concert I was at was the Reverend Horton Heat. If you guys are familiar with the Reverend Horton Heat, you got to go listen to Marijuana. And the Reverend Horton Heat was big in the 60s. And who was with them? Cracker was with them. Cracker, there was the Reverend Horton Heat, and there was this local band, and the guy played a bass guitar that he made out of a 1957 Chevy gas tank. And it was just the coolest thing in the whole world. That was my favorite group. Now, I love Reverend Horton Heat. And yeah, Rocka Hillbilly. That's Rocka Hillbilly. If anybody's into Rocka Hillbilly like I am, Reverend Horton Heat's the godfather of rock hillbilly. And and he does the great beach music. He used to do the beach music back in the day. And Cracker was there, and they did some of their old songs. Cracker, if you're familiar with the Cracker group. And then there was this other weird band that they just played rockabilly. and they were playing rockabilly on the with the bass player with the '57 Chevy guitar that he had made out of a gas tank. I thought that was so cool. I used to have pictures and I could put them up for you, but I don't have this computer anymore. I don't have that computer since I changed last year. Bales of cocaine. Is that a song by the Reverend Horton Heat? Beat Farmers. Beat Farmers, yeah. He does the song for the California Speedway too. If anybody's in California, that guitar song before they start the cars off, and the California Speedway, and they got that rockabilly because car racing, and that was over this weekend. I think that was it. The Indy 500 was. I think the Indy 500 was this, but the Indy 500 is kind of lame because they got the Indy cars and they're not NASCARs. But the NASCAR and the California Speedway, the Reverend Horton Heat, they always start it with with one of his songs where he just kind of goes on the guitar, and it's kind of cool. I can't remember which one it is, but. They play it in a lot of speedways to open up the day when they, instead of doing the national anthem, they do the Reverend Horton Heat. The South USA. What a strange place. Yes, the South is a strange place. During my military years, I was all around the South, and we got to know people down there, and it's just the auto racing and the deer hunting and the pride hunting and the possum hunting and that stuff we did, and especially the car racing, and they take that serious. They take their NASCAR serious. Holy rollers. Great album. Yeah, that is a great album. If you guys ever get to see, I think he's still touring. I think maybe he's still touring. I'm not sure. He might have died. A lot of people are dying. Bart Starr died this week. I was so sad about that. That was one of the heroes I had when I was young. Bart Starr from the Green Bay Packers. He died this weekend. And another football, Johnny Unitas. I remember that. Well, was it Johnny Unitas died like a month ago or something? The Bible Belt has messes of them up. Now that would be an interesting thing to do on a summer. In the summer, is they go travel the NASCARs in South Carolina and Florida and Alabama, and just kind of go down there. And it wouldn't be that expensive for in most places. Just travel around and watch the NASCARs and kind of take it all in. Take in the culture of the South. Oh, and just don't let on that you're a northern person. If you are a northern person like me, the culture of the South, they don't like us. But that could be an interesting thing. Yeah, interesting band. I don't think Horton Heat is. I don't think that's Mgtow music, but it's good music, and that's all that's important sometimes. Sometimes when I start listening to some of the old music or old albums that I got, I listen to it and I go, well, this isn't Mgtow music. And now that I know I'm Mgtow, the words just irritate me. It's like, that's simp music. Do you guys do the same thing? Do you guys like listen to music and some of the old books that you read in music, and you think, oh man, now I can't listen to that song anymore because that's simp songs? But it's still good. There's some way it's attractive, but it's still good music, but it's like simp music. But not too much. Rather watch that at home. What is that? Thanks for the podcast. Needed this. Oh, thanks, Joey. Steve Hoka, rock and roll. I saw Lemmy from Motorhead play acoustic at the Rainbow. Motorhead. That must have been cool. Motorhead was big when I was in the late years of high school. There was either you liked Motorhead or you liked the Ramones. And it's like you couldn't like them both at the same time. You couldn't like Motorhead and the Ramones, and then you had cult groups at that time. There was like Led Zeppelin heads, which are usually the dope smokers, and then there's Ozzy Osbourne, and then there was what's that other group? I can't remember their name. And then either there was the other group that is Motorhead or the Ramones, and you couldn't like the other groups because you couldn't be in that group if you liked the other groups, or the acid rockers. And it was a weird time in music when I was growing up, and nobody, if you like disco like I did, and I love disco. I like the Bee Gees, and I like disco, and I like that whole thing. And I think I started liking disco when I had to work. I worked in a movie theater, and the Bee Gees, the the movie came out with John Travolta, and I had to watch it 36 weeks in a row. And I was an usher at the movie theater, and I had to watch it. It was almost. It got to a point where me and Joey V, Joey V, he was kind of cool. I love Joey V, and me and Joey V were were the ushers, and we got to learn everything they were going to say. So we'd stand up with our usher flashlights, and at that time you had ushers, and they had flashlights, and they'd take you down to your seat and put you in your seat, and we'd stand up with our usher flashlights, and just he would say a line, then I would say a line, then he would say a line, because you got to know the whole move, yeah, Staying Alive. And then right after that was that weird another weird movie came around, and then I joined the army, so I didn't get to learn all the lines to that movie. But Staying Alive, I had to watch that 36 weeks in a row, twice a day. I know. The South Bible, rednecks, and bad music. I seen Molly Hatchet in a bar, and we were traveling around Petersburg down south in Virginia, and we just went in. I got thrown out by the world's biggest bouncer. He just took me and he grabbed me, and at that time I was 100 and maybe 72 pounds, and we were in the army, and we went in, and then I looked up, and on the stage was the drums for Molly Hatchet. We're like, oh man, I get to see Molly Hatchet. We just walked in, and it was just pretty big bar. And I'd order a beer, and I grabbed my beer, and then I got in an argument with this little blonde-headed cat. He was just a little guy, and he started bitching at me, saying that was his beer. And then I just punched him in his face. And then the world's biggest bouncer, he towered over me by feet, and he looked like he was half retarded, and they breeded this guy in a test tube or something to be huge. He just picked me up, and he threw me through the doors like an old Western, and I just stumbled out and fell on the sidewalk, and I was like, you're lucky. You're lucky. You're lucky I'm not in the mood today. But really, I didn't want nothing to do with that guy. He was at least 6'11" and at least 320 pounds, and cool kick-ass guy. I never seen Poison. Poison was one of it was like Poison was like kind of mainstream, so I never wanted to. Kiss was cool. A lot of the guys went and seen. I remember when Kiss came around, and everybody wanted to go see Kiss, and you could hardly get a ticket because there was just one venue and one day, and you could hardly get a ticket for Kiss, and you had to pay big bucks. I can't remember what big bucks back then was. Rat. Glam rock's cool. Yeah, glam rock. Rat and Whizzer. Nobody likes Whizzer. Rat, laugh out loud. Rat and Whizzer. Nobody likes Whizzer. $50 was a lot of money back then, Joe. $50 would get you a nickel bag and a concert and a case of beer back then. I think the tickets were like somewhere between back when I was growing up, when I was young, between $8 and $6 to $8 to $10 for a concert ticket. And the first concert I went to was actually Pink Floyd down at the stadium down in 1974, I think it was. 1974 or 76. It was the World Series of Rock that they used to have down at the stadium. I don't know if you guys ever seen Cleveland Stadium back when Cleveland Stadium was Cleveland Stadium. It held 120,000 people, and it was a big, massive stadium, and it was too big for ever to fill up. And But I went to see the World Series of Rock, and my father said I couldn't go, so I bought the ticket anyways, and me and my buddy bought the ticket, and we walked from the Heights area to the stadium. We started off like 5 o'clock in the morning. We told my father I was going to cut glass, and the concert was at 1. It took us like 6 hours to walk. I think it was like 12 miles, 14 miles or something. But we were young and we did that, and I watched it. And then I started going home, and then he split off one way and I split off the one way. And it was almost like midnight by the time the concert. It was a 12-hour, 11-hour concert. And they played for like 11 hours. And there was other bands too. And I started walking back that 12 miles, and my feet were hurting already. And I was drunk and high as hell. and a guy on it was a water. Well, I can't remember which one. Me and my buddy always argue about that, whether it was a Triumph water buffalo. It was a biker, and he picked me up, and I think he knew me from. And he said, "You need a ride home?" And I was like, "Oh God, yes." So I always liked that guy, and he drove me up to my front door and dropped me off and got me home in time before the curfew gods came down on me as a kid. And that was nothing like the curfew gods when you're a kid. So that was the first concert that I ever went to, was Pink Floyd. It was magical. It was magical. I was hooked after that. Concerts are cool, and they're not like they used to be. Hippies were entertainment. Hippies are free entertainment at concerts, and you can tell I'm a hippie, but hippies are free entertainment, but they're dangerous people too. Glam rock killed rock and roll. Gore. Yes, Kyle, gore. But glam rock, yeah. What was the worst? What would you guys consider the worst glam rock band ever? Not Poison. Yeah, maybe Poison. They had the hair going. Bon Jovi. Some people like that one Bon Jovi song that he's got that's good. And Danzig. Yeah, Danzig. Now, the guy from Danzig, isn't he a famous movie star now? Poison, Winger. Yeah, Winger. Glam rock. The hair bands. Who is the biggest of the hair bands? Winger. I like in Beavis and Butthead, the one guy has the T-shirt that says Winger on it. I thought, oh, was that Stewart was his name? I can't remember. Their little buddy that had the Winger T-shirt. And I thought that was just hilarious. And I can't remember. I always wanted to get a T-shirt like the one guy had. He had the T-shirt, the smart guy he always showed up as the smart guy, and he had a T-shirt that just said water on it. And I think that's the funniest thing in the whole world. He had a T-shirt that said water. Yeah. Stewart had a Winger T-shirt, and the one guy had a water T-shirt. Water is just funny. I always wanted to order a water T-shirt and just walk around with it like water. Euro hair brands. Yeah. What's Euro trash bands? What would be a Euro trash band? Of that same period of time, because there was like Pink Floyd, and there was like Led Zeppelin, and there was like those bands, and the Beatles were still H2O. Yeah, get an H2O shirt. That would be cool. I would wear that. I would wear an H2O shirt. Like water. And on the back, it just says water. Because it would be funny. And now if you can combine that with Mgtow, you can do H2O. Water is like Mgtow. I should have learned to play those drums. Yeah, I'm pretty good at the drums. And I understand the music and everything, and I understand the beat, but I just never picked up the drums. I want to get a big tom-tom. I want to get one of those big Indian tom-toms, and it's just a big one. And I found the Riff. I think Riff Magos, we were talking about this one day, and I found the top, but I have to find, I don't know if you could put it on like a 55-gallon drum. and just move it into the room here someday so I could just beat on a beat on a drum while I'm doing this. Because that would just be cool, one of those big drums. Like the guys got in Radioactive, the song Radioactive, Imagine Dragons. He's got that big drum, and all he does through the whole thing is he goes boom, boom, and he hits that drum in Radioactive. That's a cool song too, Radioactive. Some of the songs I like, the new songs. Radioactive is a cool song. Uh, Oh yeah, what was their names? The Spice Girls are going back on tour. They were the world's most awful band. God, they were like the kids like this. My daughter during that time she was of that age where she was like she knew all their names, and you had to know if you're a member or you were considered like a groupie, you had to know all their names. There was like Carrie, and there was like, and they had weird names, and then the Spice Girls broke up, and then it's like, oh God, the girls were so upset after the Spice Girls broke up. The '90s, the '90s. I remember someone saying when the '90s came around, the '90s, man, they're gonna make the '60s look like the '30s. It never happened. It never happened. I can't remember what movie it is. The '90s, man, it's going to make the '60s look like the '30s. Didn't happen, and that was funny. But I liked the '90s because we used to go down to the inner city Cleveland in the '90s. Was rocking. I mean, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was being built, and there was just the Flats was happening, and everybody had bands, and they just built a thing on the back of the Cuyahoga River where the boats go by, and I seen Counting Crows, and Counting Crows was cool. I like Counting Crows, and I got to meet the band. He came over, and I bought him a beer, and he was like, just talk to me for Adam Duritz, and there was a lot of good bands in the '90s. I like the '90s. I love the '90s music, and the whole Seattle thing had happened too with Nirvana, and just cool music. Gas was cheap. Very nice. Gas was cheap in the '90s, and it's memorable. I'm trying to remember the car I had in the '90s. The car I had a Bista Viola, 1976 or '78, 74 maybe, a Bista Viola with the wood grain on the side, and it was a huge station wagon. It was like the Bista Viola in the '70s show, and I just had to have that Bista Viola when I seen it. You could take a whole refrigerator, a full size refrigerator, open up the back and put the whole refrigerator inside of it. It was that big. It was a station wagon and it had a 400 in it, and it got shitty gas mileage, and it was great. And that's what I drove around. And I used to love to drive the kids around in a Bista Viola. It was like, wow, this is a great car. It stopped running, and somebody bought the engine from me for a race car. It just ran out of metal on the frame. You had an Olds Delta. I had a Delta. My brother loved the Deltas. The Delta 88s were just they were sort of like the car that in what's that movie with the walk, not the Walking Dead, with Ash in the Walking Dead. He has a Delta. A Delta 88. And the Delta 88 was cool. Chevy Malibus were okay. Everybody had a Chevy Malibu. You had to watch out which motor you bought and those things too. I can't remember. I had a Dodge Dart, and they had the rotary cams on them with the not the rotary cam, the rotary pump, the gas pump, and then those things would just wear down and they'd rust, and then it just wouldn't work no more because the cam inside the lobe would wear down. And 1979 Caprice. Yeah, I had a '72 Chevy Classic, and I love that car. we would race them, the 72 Chevy Classics. That we'd race those guys, and everybody had either the Chevy or the Malibu or the newest thing on the scene at those years were the Cutlass Supreme. The seven. I had a 76 Cutlass Supreme with the 350 and the 4 barrel 750 Holly in it, and that thing would scream. I love the box Chevys. Yeah, the two doors. You wanted the two door because they look cooler than the four doors. But if you had to take a four door, you would take a four door. The Super Beetle. Yeah. Oh God, the Super Beetle. My buddy's my brother's got a Beetle. He's got a 62 in his garage, and that's just a cool car. It was a boat. It was a boat. That was a big. You know what I bought after that? I bought a 1979 Mercury. It was a Mercury Maurice or something like that. It had that red fuzzy interior, and then I got the fuzzy balls on my Mercury. What was that car? I can't remember the name of it. And it had a huge engine in it, and it got shitty gas mileage. But it was just so. If I got drunk, I would just fell asleep in the back seat of it, and it was almost like a full size bed, and that fuzzy red interior, crushed velvet red interior was just beautiful. My wife actually she wrecked it, and that was my favorite car. It was a Mercury. God, what the name was that? I can't remember the name. It was the big one, Mercury Grand Marquis. That was it. A Marquis. It wasn't a Grand Marquis. It was a Mercury Marquis, the box one. It didn't have the flop up ones. It had the round lights, and they didn't have. Now the next one came with the lights that went up like that, and then that was the Grand Marquis, and then those only came in like blue and black or something like that, and the ugly green that they put out that was terrible. Now I had the one with the opera window. It had the opera window in the back. The Grand, it was a Marquis, but it had the opera window because that's how much room you had back there. That was just a cool car. It was like a pimp mobile. I wish I had that car nowadays. I was looking at one. Someone pulled up in one the other day, and he had kept it. And I was like, oh, man, my wife wrecked that car I had. It was silver. It was beautiful. There was chrome this thick everywhere. Just chrome. It was just, the whole car was just chrome. And you could just see like Huggy Bear from the movies, Huggy Bear just riding around in it, pimping around in it. I had a Fury. Yes, I had a Fury. Someone sold me a Fury, and then I sold it to someone else. And I can't remember why I sold that Fury, because it had horrible gas mileage, and that had the 396 in it or something. I can't remember the size of that motor, but it was huge, and it would eat gas, and then the back end looked just like the front end. So you could drive backwards, and you want no one to even know. But definitely cars were much cooler back then, and rock and roll was much cooler, and we had glam rock, which you guys don't appreciate. And disco. People would get in actual fights at the bar. It's like you're a disco fan, and it's like you're a Led Zeppelin fan. Back then, you identified by your T-shirt, and if you jean jacket Led Zeppelin, and you were like a hippie. And I wish I had Denzel Washington's Chevy Monte Carlo. Yeah, Monte Carlo's a badass car. They were beautiful. Some of them were beautiful from Training Day. Yeah, those cars go for big bucks now. My buddy, the smartest man in the world, he started collecting goats, and when we were just kids, and his mother had a barn, and then he what he would do is he'd buy the shells, and he'd buy the engines, and he'd buy everything he could for the goats, and then he'd pull them up on these ramps that he built, and he would stack them, and through the years he got quite a few of them, and he retired at the ripe old age of 50, when he sold every car he had except for his original goat, which was just a beautiful car, and he sold every one of them, and that's how he retired collecting cars. So And a lot of those cars are probably in shows now and everything. But he put every one he could inside of a garage, and we thought he was crazy. And then we realized he was the genius, and we were working for nothing because he had a retirement plan. Oh, Zoomer can't identify with the retarded boomers, huh? Oh, man. I'm a Generation Joneser. Yeah, I'm a Generation Joneser. Boomers. So, so I just kind of thought I'd come around and say hello today and talk about things. We don't really have a subject or a Mgtow subject, and but all roads lead back to Mgtow. And since we were talking about cars, that's a good way to retire. It's another alternate method of retirement. You just got to foresee your future when you do that. You can work a whole life collecting cars and selling them, and stay off the books and stay off the government radar or the feminist radar, and just get yourself a little niche in the world. And I drove it once, had a whole lot of too bad I showed up so late. Rob C, you showed up late. Yeah, we were talking about cars. We're just winging it today. So if any of you guys want to talk about anything, we're winging it because it's a holiday and we're just doing it. And I didn't want to talk about too in-depth Mgtow subjects because sometimes they're depressing. And we're getting over the week of horror in Mgtow. I was watching Cuck Eli and JB argue back and forth in the drama net. I don't know what we'll call that, the JB and JB Gunner drama circle. And they keep going back and forth. And they've been going back and forth for about 2.5 years now. Victor was over there. Victor watched a whole horror. The Eli and JB Gunner argument. Who won that argument, Victor? Oh, stamps going to cost $1 each someday. Yeah, stamps will. Stamps are going to go up. Unless you bought the forever stamps, and if you had the good sense to buy the forever stamps in bulk, then you just keep them in your drawer and just keep using. But they said last year or something that they were going to stop taking the first forever stamps, and that kind of goes against the forever stamp motto that these stamps are forever. Neither of them, they're both losers. Yeah, they were taking a lot of abuse, and I don't think that either one of them understood the sarcastic comments people were saying. Oh man. Which one of them screwed up on something, and I wanted to talk to Stu about that because it's a question that Stu had asked the other day about how some people do that, and then I realized I went and looked it up. I googled the question today. I googled the question, and it came back. Yep, that's how they do it. Google has the answer to everything, and I wanted to talk to Stu about that. So if you see Stu, tell him I'm looking for him. Sub counts, yes, sub counts, and I found out an important thing today about that and how you do it, and how you make it look like that. And UK is watching. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Steve. Jeff, what is it like Tuesday? It's Tuesday morning there, huh? It's early Tuesday morning. And we had a great day here today. It was like 70. It was like a perfect Memorial Day. Everything you think in your mind when you're a kid, like what would be a perfect Memorial Day? It's like 76 degrees and sunny. But I didn't see no parades. And I didn't see no festivals. And we first went out, we were like, shit, yeah, we're going to go find something to eat at a festival, some greasy, like fried something and fried cheese inside of like pancake dough fried into it. And it's like, we're just going to find awful food or something. And that's always fun to go to festivals. And it's festival season too. Don't forget about festival season. You could go to your local festivals if it's summer for you. If you're Jeff and it's starting to turn winter, I feel sorry. Or is it winter there, Jeff, yet? Me and my 15 subs will be their thread. Yeah, 15 subs. You'll get it. You'll get it. I didn't think I was ever gonna do do this. I didn't think, when I first started, my first oh god, my first two YouTube accounts were taken down. They took them down, and then I was like, screw this, I'm going to start talking because I hate it. And then I just started talking one day, and my first podcast was with Barbarossa, um, Shining, Messenger, and Mgtow, and I felt just overwhelmed. I was just overwhelmed. I was like, this is not something that I should be doing. But Barbarossa was a good guy, and he was really good about it. And Nico was okay. I love Nico, and and Shining and Messenger are both cool. I like Shining and Messenger. I miss my Shining guy here, but that's another story. And I hope they're all doing well. It would be cool to get Barbarossa back. I just talked to Barbarossa about what's going on and how's his life going, and Barbar, he's got that mannerism too that he's just, wow, this guy's great. This guy's great. And you can't not like Barbar. I mean, how can you not like Barbar? Tomorrow, Nico is going to family court tomorrow. Is Nico? I wonder what Nico is doing. Nico Chomsky, Chomsky, and the thirst. Yeah, Nico couldn't ever get over the thirst of his doctor. Dr. Nico Chomsky was supposed to go become one of the doctors without borders, and I wonder if he ever did that. It's Man, it's so dangerous now. That's the last thing I'd want to do is be a doctor without borders, and just people shooting at me while I'm trying to save people's lives. That would suck. I don't like being shot at. Not no more. I'm old and I don't move too fast anymore. When I was young, that was exciting. When you could move real fast and you hide and you duck and you get your head down, and that shit was okay, and I liked it. And but nowadays, I don't think I could run a mile anymore. I miss Howard. We all miss Howard Dare. I wish Howard would. Well, I don't know. I wish the real Howard Dare would come around and just do real Howard Dare, and he could just be real about everything and not have to deal with all the garbage. One good thing about doing this here, and then why I decided to do it, is because you're just real then, and there's no more worried about being doxxed, and there's no hiding behind things, and I can't hide when I say something. I can't hide behind something, behind an avatar. I have to say things that I think are true, and I will defend because you're looking right at me. There's nothing fake about it. So I decided to do that one day, and it worked out. It wasn't too bad, except some people started picking up my image and are out there and saying awful things. But that's what it is. Heartburn. Yeah, Mgtow Valuers live from from Thai sweatshop. Is he live from a Thai sweatshop today? That would be wow. Laugh out loud, Jeff. Yeah, Heartburn. I wish I seen Heartburn about a couple months ago. He put out a video. He's in a different sort of thing now. I can't remember what he's doing now. He always liked that heavy set guy. I can't remember his name. Boogie. He always liked that Boogie crowd, and I don't know what it is, but he wanted to be in that Boogie crowd, and he always wanted to. He had a pretty good living. He had his own house and everything, and he thought it was time to get himself someone that would take the house from him and take his life and make him miserable. But you get the exchange of the V there. So Heartburn is offering courses on unicorn hunting. Yeah, he wanted a V, and he probably wouldn't got a V. And we can't wait for him to come back and tell us how that worked out. Whether he still has a house and some humanity left and some dignity. He's like, he'll come back all beat up and like, I lost all my dignity. Because that's what you lose when you get married. You just lose all your dignity. Dignity is hard to come by too. If it's one of those things I would rather die with than get married again. I want my dignity when I die. If that's the only thing I got, When I die is my dignity, then let that be it. We don't know anything about Howard Dare, but his videos are still up. Yeah, his videos are still up. So he didn't lose his account, and which is kind of weird. Most people, when they go away, they lost their account, and but so something bothered him so much that he went away. He said he was having back problems. His last videos was he having back problems, so maybe he got a back operation or something. I only get my we are the last ones left, John. Yeah. There's not too many guys from the first days around here. I think Nightwing is still around, but I can't tell if that's the real Nightwing or the other one. Barr is still around, and Stardust is still around, and who else is still around? God, from the original Mgtow on YouTube, there's not too many guys that I used to talk to back there. Somebody messaged me Mgtow. Was it who was it that messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, been a long time." Maybe it was Mgtow, Canadian Mgtow, or somebody. I can't remember his name now. He was around for a while. God, I can't remember it. He was around at the beginning. I used to see him over at the Spearhead too, before YouTube came around. The Spearhead. John Kramer. Is John Kramer still around? Is he snapping legs and JK finally gave it up, admitted he was an incel, and he went over to the incel crowd. Misanthropic actor. So many dudes were around. Yeah, after a while, you know more names than you know people in Mgtow. And that's the sad part. People come, they go. I seen MA on Stewart's show yesterday, or the day before. MA's still. He's sporting a beard now, and he looks rather like Johnny Depp now. I got to say, MA looks like Johnny Depp now. If they're looking for somebody to replace Johnny Depp, Misanthropic Zombie would be it. I would say, you're Johnny Depp now. You can do that pirate thing now. Johnny Midnight, MA is Carly. Johnny is the high priest now. Too good for us. What is Johnny Midnight doing now? I don't know. Johnny's probably got a grade up there in Wisconsin. I was going to ask Johnny about when was the Wisconsin Cheese Festival up there, the big cheese festival, because I wanted to go to that this year, just sample all the cheeses. But that's a little north of where Johnny lives. That state is actually the world's longest state. It's huge, and the South is very much different from the Mgtow Indian and Element and Johnny Mgtow Depp. So the guys come and they go and everything. I think Element and Johnny are doing that other thing with the I can't remember what you call that. It's just metaphysical psychology with some history and everything. But I'm not really into that stuff. It's like dreams and shit, dreams. So today's been a really good day. I went out, got some sun. You can tell by the light pigment of red in my face, and that's probably good for some vitamin D. That's what I've been worried about, getting out and I'm going to go out and mow the grass with my shirt off and make all the neighbors puke, and they'll call animal control. But get out there and get some sun on me, and then I'll fight with the animal control guy. He'll probably try to net me. Warhorse, yeah. Warhorse is still around. He did some videos. I watched it the other day. He was doing some videos on, he still likes the projects and stuff and everything. And I felt bad how we severed with Warhorse. He was an ardent atheist at that time, and we were just making fun of the atheist, and he took exception to that. And now I'm an atheist. I don't think I'm an atheist. I'm more of an agnostic. I can't disprove the existence after we die. And I don't know. I'm not hypocritical where I could say that after we die, there's no movement of our energy or anything like that. So I can't disprove that. That's something I can't do. And I don't know but anybody that's been dead. There's stories about this one guy that was been dead, and then he came back 3 days later, and then they make a whole lot about that now, and then that's pretty bad. So so I'll just leave that one alone until they can prove to me where all that stuff is going. And I rather like philosophy. Not really. I have actually put on 30 pounds, 35 pounds in the last 3 muscle. Did you put on, Fred or D? Did you put on 30 pounds of muscle in the last? Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I can't afford to put on no pounds. I'm actually trying to do the carb-free diet through the summer and see if that'll work for me. But I lose my noodles and my spaghetti. I make fresh spaghetti and linguine noodles, and I just love that. And we've been trying to figure out how we can make noodles without flour. And I know you can use sweet potatoes or some kind of potato or something like that, but that's still carb starch. And so I'm just wondering how we can do it, if we just grind up cardboard or something and make noodles out of it. And I know a lot of people, they replace the noodles with the shredded vegetable. What is that? The vegetable you can shred, and it makes makes noodles, and that's horrible. But I could not. Brains run out of carbs. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe my brain will start shrinking when I remove my carbs, and I hope that no carbs, no brains. I like carbs. That was the mainstay of my diet most of my life. Dude, noodles, carbs. Yeah, the mainstay of my diet most of my life was carbs. Because I like spaghetti, and I've always been a spaghetti person. I come home, you can make spaghetti in like 2 minutes. Just fry some sausage, pour some sauce over it, dump it over some noodles, and it's single guy heaven. And if you looked at my shelf, you would just see 30 jars of the little jars of ragu. And then they changed the ragu recipe. They put vegetables in it. Did you guys notice that when they changed the ragu, the whole taste changed? And it's like, no, I can't eat ragu no more because you guys fucked it up. Butter protein. Butter protein. Someone was trying to get me to use that butter stuff inside of coffee. It was the butter inside of coffee that they do. And I can't remember what they call that, but I just found that to be gross. No, I do like a nice heavy cream inside of my coffee. And I had a cup of Jamaican when I started this. I opened my second bag of Jamaican coffee I bought a month ago, and I was trying to save that for I can get the most out of it, but I opened it. Now I'm going to drink it, and I'll probably buy some. I'll probably buy a couple more bags and some later on this month, but it is expensive. It's like $40 a pound at the very minimum, and but you get to drink Jamaican coffee, and that's a. You mean no sugar and no carbs? Yeah, I'm having trouble taking sugar out of my coffee. I haven't found a good substitute, and I was thinking about that cactus sugar. What do you call that? Because it's got half the carbs or something, and use it as a sweetener, but or the sugar that just looks like sugar and it's not. It has no carbs. So that's my last step: removing the sugar out of my coffee. But I do like one of the best things in the whole world is getting the Florida brown sugar in your coffee, and it's $8 a bag, but use that in your coffee, and pure Sylvia is good. Yeah, that's what it is. The pure stevia, and it looks like sugar, so it probably wouldn't bother me all that much. But I've been drinking the carb-free diet Pepsi, and I'm trying to get used to it. So I'm weeding myself off of carbs. I'm weeding myself off. I have to see how that is. Messenger's new name is Message Lozenger Rising. Okay. Yeah, Messenger. My baby needs attention. No, we should talk like openly like that. But it's been a great day. It was I got my vitamin D today, and I carbed it up a little. I ate a hamburger, a half a hamburger, and some fries. And Dougie got you should have seen his little smiley little face. If the blind deaf dog, I gave him a half a hamburger. And it was a pretty big half a hamburger, so I cut it in quarters, and I gave a quarter, and he was just he chomped it down, and he looked at me sort of in a little death look, or that blind look, and then I gave him the other half, and he chomped that down, and he was just so happy. He was wagging his tail. It was the first time I seen him happy in months, and God truly is the smile on a dog. Because we see our own we see our own godliness in that. We see how they respect. If you ever wondered how that saying came, God is the smile on a dog. It has a lot of philosophy, Berkeley philosophy on the side of it. Um, because in that we can see our humanity when we do these things. When a dog smiles at you can see your humanity in that, and you can measure your humanity. And then we have to ask ourselves, what are we? If he's a dog, then what are we? We must be gods. But I didn't want to go too far into philosophy, but I just remembered that one. Here, bread, potatoes, rice, pasta, don't need all that. Yeah, I cut out all the bread. I haven't bought a loaf of bread in a while. And I love bread. I love bread. I love fresh bread. I like baking bread. And I think I'm gonna do those little I can't remember what the Pakistani little bread that you make in a pan and you fry both ends. It's like a pan bread. I think I might add a couple of those once a week, like 1 week, so I have some small carb with it, because I really love those things. Pan bread. If you ever made it, it's really easy, and I got the roller and everything, and I just feed it through the roller, the dough maker, and you just make little pan breads, and they're about this big. But I might do like one of those a week. I'm not sure if I'm going to go so far into it, like I'm going to turn into a vegan or something. I'm not doing veganism because then I'll just be gay. Fat as blood. So I've been eating a lot more meats lately too, and it's like, how good could this be for me if I'm eating just pure fat? And that's what I was wondering how it's going to work out. Uh, Fat is bad. Fat in moderation is good if you're trying to take care of if you're trying to de-estrogenate yourself, like once a week, a good something fatty, and then you work out for the rest of the week, and then the fat gets removed through your liver, and then with zinc, it takes out the estrogens. Uh, that's how you remove estrogens from your body. If I've talked about this a million times before, you introduce fat to yours, and then you introduce zinc at the same time, zinc in the fat, and then you work out hard for the week after that, and it flushes the estrogens out of your body. Um, you just kind of rotate. It's a rotating thing that you have to do. You can't just like try to take out estrogens out of your body without rotating it through the liver. Ryan gave me 20K, and I will stop. Ryan gave me 20K when I'd stop. I don't know what that means. If you're a vegan, you have to vape. These vape shops, 30 feet under. Yeah, if you're a vegan, you have to vape. Oh God, I'd be like a hippie vapor guy. That would be like, oh God. And then I'd have to talk about like hippie vape things in the vape shop. I don't like vaping. I tried vaping. I have like 3 of those things. My son bought me one. My ex-wife actually shipped one over for me. And I don't know why she did that. She just still does that for me once in a while. And then his girlfriend bought me one. My son's girlfriend got me one or something like that. I can't remember how it actually happened, but I would never buy one of those. I ordered one. You know what? I ordered one from Shinsing, China, the vape things, because I was going to try it. And you know what they sent me? They sent me those earbuds. They got the order wrong. And I figured just after that, because I wanted to show that to you guys too. I complained and I said, you guys sent me the wrong thing. You sent me these earbuds, the magic ear, and instead of a vape thing. And then she says, she sent me a message back, and I got to pull that off of YouTube, eBay one of these days. And she says, we're very sorry. We punished her. We punished the employee very good. and, I wrote back and said, please don't punish the employee. They like whipped her or something in China. So it's not very great to be like a get something wrong in China. If you're an employee, they just whip you, you know? I was, I was like, no, don't punish her. It's like, don't do that. It's not that big of a deal for me. Vaping is for, yeah, Baron. Vaping, it's that kind of nouveau hipster thing to do now. Is it a nouveau hipster thing to do now? Is vaping, and then if you vape, you're hip and you're in and you're cool. And time to call Tom Likas. Yeah. What did Jeff say? It's hot in the attic. It's hot. It's so hot. Who was that one Chinese, the Chinese guy that made the videos, and he was going, it's hot in this cab. It's so hot. I just started laughing because he was just sweating inside of his car, and he was trying to do videos for Mgtow, and he was like, hot. It's so hot. I probably shouldn't have laughed at him because he was trying to get the Mgtow and take it to the Chinese people, which I don't know if they're allowed to be Mgtow in China. It would be interesting to know if in China you're allowed to be Mgtow or they just beat you. It's like, because it kind of goes along with their, 1.1 child per person thing. And it's like, Mgtows, we don't want to have children. And it's like, we don't make good fathers. And be like, no, we'll help you with that, reducing your population because there's like too many of yous. And my doc is female. Your doc is female. I had a female doc. She was okay. She actually was the doctor that we used natural herbs, and she was kind of half doctor, half natural herbs. So she got my heart back in order after the damage, and then she removed the calcium from my body. And with calcium, and it did wonders. And I started thinking better and talking more and being more sociable than I was like, I was a bum. And then she got me going. So she wasn't too bad. She was a female doctor, but she was cool, I suppose. If you got a female doctor, then go with it. As long as she's the doctor you want to see and they understand what you want. And vape in. Autocorrect will not let me write camping. I've been having a lot of trouble with autocorrect lately. With I think there's a virus going around in autocorrect, because I would type something in the low bar and look at it to make sure it was grammatically correct and everything, and then I would hit it and it would go in and would change all the its to I's, or it would change got to go. And it would do that, and it would just make me freaking crazy there for a while. Google auto spell check was like just screwing with me horribly for a while, and I don't know what that is. Maybe there's a virus in there, and Google has to fix that because it gets embarrassing after a while. Oh, if you make your YouTube video, you are above it all. She's retarded. Who's retarded? Which one's retarded? We got a lot of new girls coming around. I warned the guys over there, the other group, about complaining and talking and making drama with the girls, because you know what that's going to do? You make drama with the girls, and then more girls come around because they love drama. Girls love drama. Let's see here. I need one of those new chairs. I said I was going to go out this month and buy me one of those big chairs with the back, the leather ones, and I didn't. I still have my $50 Kmart chair, which is uncomfortable. I put 2 pillows on it. Yeah, the LBGT guys like the drama too, and that's what I think. Eli and the drama between Eli and JB is kind of gay, isn't it? It's kind of like they saying I like each other, and everybody can see through that. It's just they're doing it. If they've been doing it for 2.5 years, it's not that they're just yelling at each other. They're collaborating with each other. Is what they're doing. Is they're doing a collaboration, and it's a gentle alliance then, and it's kind of gay. It's kind of gay. If you argue with someone for 2.5 years, it's no longer. It's more like what was that famous movie back with the two guys? He was a sports writer living together with he was they were the odd couple. You're no longer you're no longer enemies if you argue for 2.5 years. You're collaborating and you're living together. So it's kind of gay that they have this marriage thing going on between JB and Eli. The sad part is they don't think anybody can see it. Most of the comments that I read in there were all about like they were snarky comments that you know how I do. I'm pretentious sometimes, and I do. They're patronizing, and they're pretentious, and they were and they couldn't see that because they like ooh people are watching me. I'm okay with coming in for Kiss Eli. You already JB Gummers last night. Yeah. JB Gummer hates me. He wanted to debate me. He sent me like we're gonna debate one day, and I can't imagine myself debating JB Gummer. It's like that would be the that would be the low point of my YouTube career. That's like I think I had nothing to gain from that. You want to join them, Steve Oka? Yeah, Steve Oka. You should join them now. They're streaming now. That's why I came on because I couldn't stand that. After the week we had in Mgtow, someone come on with more drama was just like that's the stupidest thing in the world. They probably planned it thinking that, like, okay, all the other guys, we had one, two, three accounts, four accounts taken down this week, and I still think one of those people that were taken down was the person that tried to hack my account, and they were doing drama all over the place, and that was Global Man and TMMT or whatever his name is, Mike, and then Chronic got taken down, and then somebody else got taken down. So that drama never pays off when you're doing that drama. It's just people get all uptight and start doing really weird things. They start trying to dox each other, and there's no reason for it. It's like you just who's the best Mgtow? I am. Who's the leader? I am. Everybody knows that. I'm the best Mgtow. Raise your hand if you agree with that. I'm the best. Trav is the best Mgtow, and that's just it. Yeah, I'm the leader, and that's what that would come from Mexican Mgtow. He's like, take me to your leader. Take me to your leader. And he's like, take me to Trav. It's like, I was like, okay, I'm the leader. So I don't even understand what Global did. He's a technical guy. He's one of those tech things, and I don't understand. Well, he might be the guy that tried to hack me. That's why he got taken down. If somebody tried to hack me, someone was trying to hack into a lot of accounts in Mgtow, and they got caught. Do you want me to do the CS voice, Shingles? Hi, Mgtows. Hi. He advocated. Oh, did GM? Did he advocate for violence? He used to never advocate. There's never no reason to hate the feminists so bad you want to be violent to them because it's really none of our business. Once we become MGTOWs, it's like, man, I can think of something that's like just so far away from what I am that it can't even affect me anymore. And that's feminism. I want the girls to get empowered. I want them to start working. I want them to know the horror. I want them to fight in wars. I want them to know the horror of being a man. I want them to know what it's like having your body break down before you're 50 because You've exceeded your amount of oil barrels you can stack. I want them to have all that good living. I want them to be the guys on the Pepsi and Coca-Cola docks that move cases of Pepsi and Coca-Cola into those trucks every day, and the 7-Up guys. I want that for them. And when they get used to that and they say this shit sucks, I want them to be as disposable as us. But yeah, with that they'll get responsibility, accountability, and I want them to take accountability for their bodies, their body, their choice. I want their body, their choice to be like above everything, and I will protect and fight for your body, your choice. And but with that it comes total responsibility. That's your kid. I can't have a kid. That you don't quit saying men are giving you kids, because they're not. You're choosing to take a sperm donation. That's what I want. I want that for them. I want all that for them, and they'll like it. They will. They'll get to bust through that glass ceiling of horror. That's funny. They never think about the guys, that work in the steel mills, and the guys that cut down the trees or work on fishing boats, and how dangerous it is, and the roofers, and how many of those poor roofers have fallen off the roof. Hey, just get up there, girls, and become a roofer. Oh, I ain't got money by Friday. I'm a break your foot off Travis. Break your foot off of Travis' ass. Uh, who told me that? Somebody was like, if I ain't got my money by Friday, I'm gonna break my foot off in your ass, Travis. That's funny. Oh man. Oh God. It's a weird world. It's a weird world, Shingles. You just got to do the stranger, the invisible. Go the invisible man there. Hey, Eric, how are you today, Eric? How's everything in Denmark? Is Derek in Denmark? Is it warm up there now? Or kind of 60-ish still? I don't know what that temperature is in Celsius. Yeah, Shingles is inspiring me. He's going to retire at 40. He's going to be he gets to he's a young man, and he gets to do the full Mgtow and retire at 40 as a billionaire. I won't be around anymore. I have no interest in living past 60. I swear to God. Okay, yes, we are good for laughs as long as you stay away from the UK crowd. They take things a little serious there, and serious. They're serious. I read an article before about the party switches today in the UK. I don't understand it, because their parties are weird, and they got weird parties. They got 3 of them over there, and there was a party switch. Diagenesis, dignitas, Joe, dignitas. Keep your dignitas. I laughed my ass off. Yeah, it's a good day. There's someone coming up, the little girl. They're having a party next door, and in my driveway, and this room sits against the back of the house, where it sits up against their driveway. We don't have big lots here, and they're kind of crowded together because it gets real rural after that. And they pull up, and some little girl's out there just crying. She doesn't want to get in the car. Oh, she's gonna send me a plate over today. She is. She does it every holiday. She sends me a plate over, and I'm grateful for it. I'm just going to get rich by an artificial woman, create a new world order with millions and millions of militant sons. That sounds good, Freder D. We just get artificial wombs. It would solve all the problems. You could go down, like, pay your amount for say, I want a boy. I want him to have blue eyes. I want him to have 20-inch arms, and I want him to be a football player, and they'll make you one. And here's your baby boy, Mr. Burns. And that's what I talked about yesterday about what if you want to be a father, and that's part of being a father. It's like you can pick exogenesis would be ectogenesis, not exogenesis. Ectogenesis would be beautiful for single men if they wanted to be fathers. You just go down and pick what you want, and there you go. You get a kid, but there's a lot of involved in that. Am I going to make a good father? It's time. There's reasons why at our age the the longevity in your child's life is important. So older men have children that have more longevity because of the tips of the I can't remember what you call it right now. The DNA has these little balls on the end of them, and they're longer. I can't remember what that's called, but we'll do something about that one day. Hey, Rick, RP, Rick. Is threads going? I need to go to sleep. It's 9:52 here, and it was a beautiful, sunshiny, just beautiful day today. I just enjoyed it immensely. It's going to start raining tomorrow, and it's going to rain for the rest of the week, which I don't care, but it's going to rain. Yeah, telomeres. Yeah, the telomeres at the end of, you remembered that, Tara, and the telomeres at the end of the DNA strands are longer and elongated in older men, which gives their children more longevity in life and better health. And I don't know how true that is. But that's what they say, the telomeres. Thank you. Thank you, Train. I couldn't remember that word for the life of me. Uh, I'm getting so much more sleep. I I'm trying to get better sleep. I was going to put one of those RFA tents over my bed and put an RFA blanket underneath my bed to keep out the EMF and the RFA and the waves. All waves. I don't want any radiation on me at night to see. There's been some research lately that people sleep better without all the telephone communications and RFA waves and the EMF waves. And I live on a fault here, and it's a very slim fault. And once in a while, I can feel the magnetics under me, and it's a very weird pulling feeling. I don't know if you live on a magnetic fault, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's this weird pulling feeling on your body, and it feels weird. And sometimes right here I feel the rumbling, and it just bothers me. So I was going to put an EMF blanket underneath my bed and see if that actually works. Sleep till noon is great. Yeah, sleeping till the crack of noon. Sleeping till the crack of noon. That's great. Women use fans to sleep. Yeah, my ex used to use a fan, and my kid he started using. He sleeps with a fan to the buzzing. The something about the subtle buzzing of the fan relaxes him. Me, I like the total quiet, and then I put earplugs in. Oh no, I only put one earplug in my left ear, and there's reasons why. When you go to sleep, if you're like me, I put one earplug in my left ear, and that takes all the background noise out, and I can still hear what's going on in the house. Because sometimes not hearing what goes on in the house makes me leery about going to sleep. So I put one ear, and it knocks down off half the sound, and it has an effect on your other ear. If one's blocked, they work together, and then all you can hear is like sharp sounds, and all you can hear is like, but it takes the level and it reduces the level of the thuds and the cars driving by too. So try that one night. If you just take one single earplug and just put it in your left ear, and then lay down on the other ear, and then you'll be aware and not in the dark sort of, but you'll still hear what's going on. And and it's kind of weird. You got to get kind of something you have to get used to. But that's what I do. I put one earplug in, and then I got the mask. I have a camouflage mask, and I put it over my eyes, and that helps me sleep. Close the curtains and just sleep. Less war. Yeah, I wish there was less war so we can all just go to sleep one night without that. Yeah, I need a total black insider, so I put blankets up over my. I have the things. I paid big bucks for these blinds, and they were supposed to take the darkness out and everything, but they never worked. And it's like still in the morning, the sun shines, and so I threw blankets up over these. I got those old collection of old blankets I had in my house, and I threw them over the window. I was gonna put blackout on my windows, but I thought that would be too crackheadish. Take a shower if you get happy feet. Yeah, yeah. If you're gonna get happy feet, like your dad said, Joey, just take a cold shower, son. That'll help. My father used to say that too. Take a cold shower, son. There was something different about the old guys back then. They had this thing under control. They had their sexuality under control. They had but there wasn't the internet, and there wasn't constant bombardment by sexual influences like we have. And the young men nowadays, they're constantly bombarded by sex cells, sex cells. And I feel sorry for the young men. Prostitutes are just miserable humans. Yeah, they are. Oh, I'm burping. Are you afraid of the possible war with Iran? Yes, I am. Well, yeah, I think it would be an extended war, and I think if you use your sense with that, there's going to be oil shortages, and then Venezuela is going to come into this thing, and since we're having a beef with them and they have oil, we might have to have a two-front war, because that's the next. If we go to war with Iran, you have to have a war with somewhere where you can get oil and just take it. And Venezuela would be so it's all about oil then. So Americans back home can live the lifestyle they come accustomed to. But with that, it's going to drive the oil prices up to that George Bush $4 a gallon period in the world again. And I think that's what they want, because a lot of people got rich during that. $4 a gallon thing. That right now the Saudis are setting the price, and they're flooding the market. And everybody's got reserves now. If you remember, Trump already dumped the reserves. So if we do go to war and there's some kind of oil shortage or something out there, China is going to be pissed too, because that's where they get their oil from. And I hope there is no more. I just hope there's no more war, because once you've seen that up close and personal, you don't wish that on another person ever. You don't want that. No more of that. Some people like it, like John McCain likes to bomb everything. John McCain will just bomb like school buses full of children and get off of that. But no, I've grown up in my life, and the horror of it, and I think we should have eugenics and reduced populations, but we shouldn't do it through war. I think we're smart enough now to, if you want to reduce our populations, we all just go Mgtow. We get as many Mgtows as you want, and then you start regulating the breeders, and then you sterilize a certain portion of the women, and that's it. You knock down our population. Since women want to be equal and everything, they're going to have to, for years and many, many years, it's pruning the stags. We were pruning the stags by war, but we can't do that no more. So women are going to have to donate to this thing somehow. They're not going to war, so they're going to have to get sterilized. Yeah, Rick, you don't want to be drafted. You'll be they're going to inscript Mgtows, because we're just badass people. And so we're badass Mgtow gods, and who doesn't want to have a Mgtow god in their war force? They'll just inscript us and make us fight. Several thousand bucks here, and yeah, Peter. We should just tie women's tubes. Yeah, we should. Well, it should be a voluntary thing, and that process should be free. If you want to have a litigation, I think I can't pronounce that right. Then that should be more of options, like, and they should give out free, for us. They should really do that. There should be free vasectomies and free tubalizations. It's a simple process now. It's cut free, and they can do that in a half hour in a doctor's office now, and that should be free from if you want to reduce the populations. I don't think America has a real population problem now. We have 340 million people, but I mean, there's Pakistan and China and India. They're just way overpopulated, and there's no sign that these people are going to slow down. At some certain point, you're going to have to say, hey, these other countries that are consuming so much have to slow down. And that would be the problem. I think that's World War III there, telling China and Pakistan and India, please slow down. But you know where someone was arguing with me the other day about Christians. It was a Christian argument I was having. They were saying, if you're Christian in America and everything, it reduces divorce rate. And I was like, that's bullshit. It actually increases divorce rates because Christians invented divorce. And the lowest divorce rate in the world is where? Does anybody know that? Answers? Anybody know where the lowest divorce rate in the world is? It's strange. Yeah, Canada is overpopulated. That sounds. I'll give you guys time to answer that, and then I'll tell you. No. China, no. Alaska, no. Nope. India has a 1%, less than 1% divorce rate. There are some places that have slightly lower, but they're not qualified as countries. But in the top countries in America, India. So Indians are what? They're what religion are they? They're not Catholics, that's for sure. Ireland, sorry, Shingles. In the 80s and 90s, Ireland had the lowest divorce rate in the world when Catholicism was still, shaming everybody into that. But and the Irish didn't want to give away their secrets, but that all changed with now they can get abortions and all that. Now female rights have increased in Ireland now, and they had the lowest divorce rate. For divorce is illegal in the Philippines. Yes, it is illegal in the Philippines. India is mostly Hindu. Yeah, India is Hindu. So the Catholics taking claim that in the American Catholics they're not even Catholics. They're new. I can't remember what you call it. New Jesusers. That more of a Protestant New Jesuser. They're them taking claim that that religion reduces divorce. No, that religion increases divorce because jackasses, you guys invented it. Indians are clones, terrible, and endogamy there. Yeah, Indians are clones. Yeah, I like Indian people. I got 2 Indian people up the street. They run the store there, and they're just the most wonderful guys in the whole world. You wouldn't. You're just like, they're just great guys. Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, all religions in India. Yeah, I would say Christian and Roman Catholic would be the lowest end of that. I think it's Hindu, Muslim, and Buddhist, and they got the lowest divorce rate. Hypergamy is strong, and yeah. So the connection between hypergamy and I'd have to question the connection between hypergamy and divorce then at that point, seeing that India does have the lowest divorce rate. There's, their causation is not correlation. Correlation is not causation or something. I mean, hypergamy is something totally different. But they do have a large hypergamy rate over there because they have a caste system too. There's a caste system there, which probably leads to the girls naturally wanting the higher caste males. And but when you think about it, hypergamy is caste system, isn't it? When you think about it, they just buy into the female caste system of their gods. When their gods were the archetype female of like I don't know, Krishna was. They have them archetype female gods, which is the caste system, which is hypergamy. So they kind of invented it, didn't they? India is like the Mexico of the East. Mexico has the highest murder rate. That's you can get murdered as a man in Mexico really easy. Caste system is still in place in Japan also. Is it still in place in the caste system? You have it's sort of the businessman, and then you got the workers, and then you got the caste system that's kind of in place in Japan. That's a horrible system. But when you think about it, the caste system is in place in America too now. You got like low income, and then you got medium income. You got the ever declining middle income people, and then you got the mega rich, which run the country. So the caste system's in place. Goodbye, Traversable. Aaron, I'm going, man. You have a nice night, Aaron Rubin. You just I hope everything wherever you're at, it's great. Have a nice night, Aaron. Later, Aaron. And the dominance hierarchy is more, in America, it's a dominance hierarchy based on money. And Christian the Christian American money caste system is everybody, heaven is everybody's got more money than everybody else. That's heaven for American Christians. You go to a place where you just have more money than everybody else, and everybody has more money than everybody else. It's just an appearance thing. If you're not sure, samurai or higher caste, you are only be a salary man or criminal. Yeah, criminals in America do rather well. I was thinking about becoming a criminal again. Me and my friend were talking about that. I said, if this shit gets any worse, I'm just going to become a criminal again because they make better money. And I think I'm smart enough to be a criminal. You're only breaking the law if you get caught. That'll be my new motto. You're only breaking the law if you get caught. So Dougie's outside having a fit. I think it's getting dark here now. It's 10:09, and I've talked quite a long time now. And I hope you're all having a great day. I was just winging it. We were just throwing the shit out there. We were just tossing the shit around. And we did talk about some Mgtow things, but I hope you're all having a great holiday. And I hope your day tomorrow is nice and your day after that's nice. And the whole week's nice for you. This is a week that a lot of people take vacations too. So if you're one of those vacationing mid-May people, I hope you're having a great week. Yeah, thanks for coming around, Victor and Steve and Nino and 30 Feet Under and all the guys that show up here and listen to me ramble on some days. But I couldn't take one more minute of Coach Eli and JB. That's just got to end. Silent Sage and Jetty and Pretentious Hermit, all you guys, thanks for coming around again. Eli and JB, we got to end that. They got to end the drama. And if you see Stuart Hunker, tell him I'm looking for him. I want to show Stuart something. Steve already knows what I wanted to show Stuart, but he had a question about how they do that, and I kind of figured it out, and that's it. And I hope you're always having a great night. And most of all, man, each of us Mgtow got our job, and your job is whatever you consider your job as a Mgtow is. Is we have a total equal free system in Mgtow. Whatever you consider your job in Mgtow, that is your job. And hope your all days are well and all your sins are forgiven, and go on with your life and be happy. And most of all, Mgtows, Thanks for being Mgtow. Mgtow.